IndianaStuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Marian University. The completion of our high school matchup between two of the top teams in the state of Indiana, Brownsburg and the Fighting Irish of Cathedral. Today's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer and has been since 1955. Passion to care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication in the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission. For over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Burtner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group. We're in business to create a better future for you and your family. Northwestern Mutual, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Laborers District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page daily with updated sports news coast to coast. Go to IndianaSRN and click on the sports page tab. Troy Dargowski, John Lester back with you today. I'm assuming you got a good night's rest, right?
I did, yes. Ready for this today. It's exciting finish, hopefully, in this one.
Well, let's set the table a little bit. And at halftime, it's only going to be about a 5-minute halftime for what we understand. And we'll kind of go back and look at the highlights from last night. We might get another highlight in the last 2 minutes here. But let's talk a little bit about what it means now to come back after you play last night, you sit around, you're waiting to maybe play again. You have to come back today. Now, the difference is most of the players on the varsity level, they come back and they watch film. They're not ready to play on a Saturday like this, so what does it mean for these two teams today?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, very unusual situation. I was actually listening to Bob Lovell on the way home last night. Very unusual situation with the weather affecting the way it did all across Indiana. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and I'm actually interested to see on this first drive. You know, we've got the message. Cathedral was starting to switch the momentum there a little bit with that score and then that interception. And you started to feel now, will they be able to keep that after this long delay? Will they be able to keep that momentum going? Because we're going to see Brownsburg have the football here. And Brownsburg's pretty much had their way with the Cathedral defense, unlike Ben Davis last week. So this is going to be a very, very telling factor probably the last possession of the first half here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, John, you can't mess with Mother Nature, so there really wasn't anything anyone could do. Now, there were a lot of games around the state last night that they're not completing them today for travel reasons or whatever the case may be, being non-conference games. But when you have a big game like this, as a player, you don't want that thing to end the way it did last night, you're chomping at the bit to get back out here and play again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were trying anything at all they were to get back out here last night, but the weather just unfortunately just wasn't going to allow that to happen. But, I know the coaches are in there saying, we can't do anything about the weather. Let's come back out. Let's play our game, and we'll see what happens here this last 2:16 here, the first half, which is what we're going to be going to here.
You make a great point, though, about the momentum, and you kind of felt that perhaps Cathedral, they fell down 17-0. Things were not working well. They come back, they get the interception, they get that nice play that they actually got them in position to score, and then they get it into the end zone. And we were kind of watching a little bit, a couple of the coaches down there, when they found out the game was going to be postponed until today, they could kind of tell, too, that they had momentum. They were not happy.
Yeah, Cathedral of any of the two teams, obviously the team that with all the momentum that we had going, like we were talking about, yeah, they were really frustrated down there on the coaches. So, but, get back at it. Weather came in the way, get back at it, and we'll see what happens here.
Well, as you mentioned now, what the scenario will be is with this warm-up period complete here in just a few minutes, Brownsburg received the punt. They have just over 2 minutes now to take the football, try to do something with it. And I would find it hard to believe that you can get that thing going after the delay and then coming back this morning and your offense coming back out, because I think Oscar Fry, who started the game, came back out with the first team offense to begin this drive. How important will it be for Cathedral to make sure they don't give up anything, because they get the football to begin the third quarter, to not let Brownsburg score on this drive?
I'm more anxious to see actually the Cathedral defense, because they had been out on the field for about 15 minutes in the first half. Now you're able to get that break here, so I'm anxious to see how they would come out. I'm more anxious to see Cathedral, because the defensive coaches were at them during that break last night saying, we've given up 200-some yards here in the first half when we pretty much had our way against Ben Davis. It'll be very, very interesting to see how they come out here.
Two of the big storylines last night, we saw Oscar Fry, the sophomore quarterback, get the start. I thought he played extremely well, and he's coming back. But then they also had IHSAA Stevens, who I thought played well. He did throw the one interception, but between the two, from a defensive standpoint for Cathedral, it's kind of hard to prepare for those two, because really Stevens more of a dual threat quarterback, where you look at Fry, he wants to throw the football.
We were talking last night during the game when Stevens came in. We were a little bit surprised how Brownsburg brought him in the way Fry had played in that first half. So, Cathedral, it's going to be, how does Brownsburg play this? Are they going to go back to the dual threat quarterback, play the two quarterbacks like they played the three quarterbacks in the first game last week? Yeah, keep Cathedral on their heels defensively a little bit.
One other storyline from last night is Jalen Bonds, who had that really huge game in their opening season win, really held in check last night from a running standpoint. So I would venture at some point Cathedral wants to get him going. Will he see more carries in the rest of this game?
He's been held to 22 yards on 6 carries in the first half. I do think Cathedral's probably going to try and stay with them. But with the 10-point deficit as it is right now, if Brownsburg's able to score again, I think you're going to have to see them go back to the passing attack like they had that good drive where they got the touchdown there on that first half.
One other factor is a brand-new officiating crew. These are all brand-new guys coming into this one. They did not see the first half, so now the coaches have to readjust to the calls today.
It's going to be called differently, and I know the officiating crew is down there telling the players and coaches that down there. It's going to be an adjustment period for the coaches, and they know that, but hopefully by the third quarter everything will get straightened out there.
So here's how things will work out today. 2:16 remaining here in the first half. 17-7 your score. Bulldogs with the lead. They'll have the football again for this final 2:16, barring a turnover. It'll be a 5-minute halftime. So that's different, too. You're generally 18 minutes before you come back out, but all the adjustments had to have been made last night.
Yeah, you were just kind of going through, like, how are we going to do this? We were talking last night, if they would have resumed last night, would they have gone through a very minimal halftime with as few minutes as there are here in the first half? So it's going to be a big adjustment to get used to, and we'll see how it plays out here.
By the way, Byron Davis will be the referee today. The umpire, Daniel Morales, who we know well. The head linesman will be Dion Smith, the line judge, Christopher Thompson, and the back judge will be Eric Gibson. And by the way, one other factor, we'll talk about that here in a moment, that is the crowd. We are underway now, the final couple of minutes of this second quarter, and a run play right up the middle. Looked like that might have been Brady Lewis, who really played well in the now first two quarters last night. It'll be second down after a gain of a couple.
You're seeing Brownsburg go right back to the running game there for Lewis. That's his 13th carry here in this first half.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. You basically get 2 minutes to do something, and now you're going to take another timeout and be halftime for 5 minutes, something you generally don't see. Oscar Fry, the sophomore, ready to throw, has time. The offense has given him plenty of time all night. Completion far sideline across the 30 near the 34-yard line. On the completion, Robinson, who continues to play well.
I thought we might see more of the passing game because Brownsburg did have to take those 2 timeouts in the first quarter, so they do only have 1 timeout left, and sure they went with a medium-length pass there.
Football will be placed at the 35-yard line. Handoff again, straight up the middle, will be Brady Lewis, the sophomore at 5'8", 175. And we're coming up on 90 seconds now remaining in the second quarter.
See Brownsburg here trying to attack the run here, getting the ball up to the 37-yard line. Need about another 30 yards to get into decent field goal range.
That was just a gain of 2 yards. Fry sets to throw again. Plenty of protection. Airs it out down the middle of the field. Ball will be caught and then dropped inside the 25-yard line. Excellent defensive play there for Cathedral, and it appeared that Brandon Sharp was going to come up with that one. Unfortunately, can't haul it in.
It was a great pass there by Fry, finding his receiver down there, but a great play by the Cathedral player at the last minute to knock that away and force the incomplete pass, and then has Brownsburg backed up to a 3rd down.
You know, Oscar Fry has a heck of an arm for being a sophomore, and he only weighs 165 pounds, but he can sling it pretty good. So 3rd down and 8. Football again at the 36-yard line. Fry to throw again, has time. Ball caught, 1st down and more. Back to the middle at the 50, down to about the 45. That'll be Robinson on the reception, and he's been huge in this ball game.
Robinson, another great reception. They got a little concerned there. He had the 1st down, then backtracked a little bit, was still able to pick up the 1st down there and get Brownsburg into Cathedral territory.
They will move the chains. We'll put the football at the 46 of Cathedral. Fry again looking left. Puts it toward the sideline, and the ball's going to be caught inside the 10, down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be Dante Herzog, the 6'4", 200-pound senior, hauling it in, and Brownsburg knocking on the door.
First time we've called Herzog's name in this game, I believe, and yeah, great play there, and it's a 1st and goal for Brownsburg. And we were talking about that, they're taking the momentum right back after that long delay that Cathedral had.
And now Stevens will come in as the quarterback. Fry will leave, and Stevens, again, a dual-threat quarterback. Football at the 1-yard line. They'll hand it off, up the middle, touchdown. Brady Lewis in from 1, and just like that, the Bulldogs come out efficiently, slicing apart that Cathedral defense for another 6.
As great of an answer as you could ask for Brownsburg, coming out of the long break and marching right down the field, 84 yards for a touchdown.
Boy, that was impressive. The way that they just cut them apart, and what a way to come back. We talked about momentum going Cathedral's way. It ends up going back to Brownsburg, and now the extra point. The line drive kick is up. It is good. 7 on the board. 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Bulldogs lead it 24-7.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back here at Marian University, 24-7. Bulldogs with the lead. You talk about coming off the bus and ready to play. We just saw that in Brownsburg.
Yeah, we sure did. Brownsburg marched right down the field and very quickly going 84 yards on this touchdown drive.
Aiden Hughes will be deep, one of the two players deep, and actually that's going to be Amari Moore, number 12, will be one of the two deep return men here. Levi Link, that's going to be Xavier Dangerfield as well. So number 12 and number 22. Now for Cathedral, and this crowd, which I was going to mention a little bit ago, this is going to be a high end-over-end kick inside the 10-yard line, and there will be a return across the 15, 20, 25, 30 to the outside, 35 near the 40. Nice return, Amari Moore. Here's the difference, too, if I may, as we hear a lot of whistles being blown down on the field. The crowd is much different than it was last night. It was standing room only. Today, you really just don't have as many people here.
Much more sparser crowd. Still a decent crowd on hand considering the weather here. And I'm anxious to see on this 25-second. Cathedral has 3 timeouts. If they can get some deep drive down the field, they have a chance to score here again before the halftime.
In the backfield will be Jimmy Pappas. Cameron Coors has 2 receivers to the near side. Hash mark on the left. A lot of jumping up front, but there was no infraction there on the Bulldogs. As you had mentioned, 25 seconds remaining. Tight end will reset to the left. The handoff, and it will be Pappas over the left side inside Brownsburg territory down to around the 48, maybe 49-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be content to run out the first half here, but a nice little pickup there for Pappas. See if you get one more play off here.
They have 7 seconds to go. And they'll fake the handoff. Coors to throw over the middle and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Devon Slaughter. He had it. In fact, it looked like he might have been ready to take a step before he caught the football.
Trying to tell you, like you said, he had a lot of green in front of him, and Ian just took his eye off the ball, and unfortunately they're an incomplete pass. One more play left here for Cathedral.
Well, you've seen a strong arm out of Cameron Coors as well. He only weighs about 140 pounds. Coors flushed out of the pocket. Here they come. He throws off balance near sideline, and it'll go out of bounds, and that's going to end the second quarter. Halftime is upon us. Again, it'll be a 5-minute halftime. We will come back and talk about what we saw yesterday. Highlights on the way here on IndianaSRN.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back to Marian University. For those of you that have just tuned in, or maybe you didn't tune in last night, John, let's go back and look at some of the big highlights from last night. And you have to really start with his first touchdown pass of the night. It was 3-0 at this point, and you see that Robinson gets open, and what an arm there by the quarterback, which was Oscar Fry.
Yeah, that was a great job there, and that's where the defender unfortunately lost his footing there, and it allowed the touchdown there for Brownsburg.
The next play you see is Robinson again. He makes the catch, and once he makes that catch, he makes that great move back to the inside and ends up sprinting 45 yards. One of the better plays of the night, and this is Robinson right here.
You'll see it right here as Robinson just gets through the defense there, basically untouched until he gets to about the 15-yard line.
Great run after the catch there. And then, of course, that set things up for Brownsburg to go up 10-0. Lewis got the touchdown run, and by the way, Lewis has probably been one of the players of the game right now just because of his ability to run, but he was right up the middle, and how about that offensive line?
Yeah, that finish right there with the line protection there, that's what you said, put Brownsburg up 17-0.
Well, and then you have Cathedral coming back. We felt maybe at this stage you're going to see the momentum switching a little bit. You're going to see Slaughter, who is really, again, we saw him drop that football a little bit ago, but you can see right here how dangerous he is.
Yeah, there you see him, and a great pass there that led to that from the backup quarterback there that Cathedral brought in there.
And then, of course, you get the touchdown pass to Jackson Harvey, who gets into the act, and Cathedral, it looked like at that time they are finally going to get on the board, and they do. And this is a big one here.
Here's where we were talking about where we sense the momentum shifting here with this Cathedral score to make it 17-7.
And then you have one more play we want to show you from the first half last night that really kind of set the table here. I mean, this ended things because we only had, again, the 2 minutes remaining. But watch this. This is another great play to the end zone and the interception.
The great interception there that definitely led to the momentum shifting there before Cathedral did have to end up punting on that drive before all the weather hit.
And then, of course, we just finished out a little bit ago with that very impressive drive that we saw with Brownsburg coming out with just over 2 minutes remaining. And here is the end of this one right here. And Oscar Fry, I am so impressed with his ability to stay in the pocket as you see him getting down to the 1 yard line. Not only just to stay in the pocket, but that offensive line. If I'm thinking I've got an MVP right now, it's the offensive line.
Yes, definitely the protection they are giving Fry, and for a sophomore, as you mentioned, what an arm he has for a quarterback there at Brownsburg.
Well, they're not only able to run the ball, we know that running blocking and then also pass blocking is two different art forms, and they're doing well on both ends of those.
Protection at both ends of the ball, yeah, offensively, and yes, it's been a great first half for Brownsburg so far to this point.
You know, I kind of like this 5-minute halftime stuff. I think we should do this all the time, right?
Let's talk to Mr. Neidig, see if we can make this a.
Yeah, you don't mind, do you? We'll all get home earlier, right?
Sounds good to me.
Who needs 15 minutes to adjust? So here's the good news. If you're a Fighting Irish fan, you're going to get the football to begin the third quarter, and you're down by 17. They got to find a way now to get that momentum riding again.
With the 17-point spread here, I think you're going to see Cathedral go a lot more to the passing game here. It's been successful for them so far at times in that first half. Can't really afford to let this deficit get any more than what it is right now.
Will Orlando will kick things off. And this will drive the return man to the end zone. He stepped on the end zone line there, so that means it'll be a touchback. And it'll be first down now for Cameron Coors and the Fighting Irish of Cathedral. Want to remind you, today's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Their mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Do your part by practicing good sportsmanship. If we don't have officials, we don't play. And we want to thank our officials here today. We're going to keep an eye on Daniel Morales, who is the umpire today. So he's going to be the one placing the football. If there's a weird spot, Daniel, we're going to be watching you. So here we go. First down and 10, start of the third quarter. 24-7. Brownsburg scoring with just over 2 minutes remaining. And they're going to reset the play clock. They're trying to get it down back to the 40. And now the 25. So here we go. In the backfield, looks like Pappas will stay in. We have not seen Bonds yet in the first two series. Coors will reset his tight end right to left. Hand off and run up the middle. And this is actually going to be number 22, which is Xavier Dangerfield at 5'10", 175, only a sophomore. No word on Jalen Bonds, why he is not in the lineup right now, but he was not in the first series, not in this one.
Yeah, try and figure out what's going on with Bonds, if anything, or just coach holding him out for some reason.
So it'll be second down and 8. Fighting Irish eventually are going to have to go to that pass offense, as you said, if they can't get this going right now, down by 17 here in the third quarter. A lot of resetting their tight end and running back in this formation. Course to throw. Low throw, ball caught at the 25 on the reception. On the near side will be Alberin Johnson. Johnson, a big target at 6'6". So quickly, it's third down and 5. They'll have to get to the 30 for a first down.
Little behind the receiver there. I think Cathedral was hoping for a little bit more on that pass play than they got there.
We have a stack receiver situation now to the right. Johnson, the lone receiver, now to the near side. Third down. Coors out of the shotgun again, looking and throws, and a strike. Ball's going to be caught across the 40 to the 45. It'll be Albron Johnson. Great throw, though, by Coors.
Yeah, great look for Coors. Back-to-back receptions for Johnson, and Cathedral moves it up to the 45-yard line. You get the feeling this is a must-score drive for Cathedral right here in this opening third quarter.
So it'll be first down and 10. Again, football placed at the 45-yard line. Coors will hand off, and they'll run over the right side, get about 4 on the carry. And once again, it'll be Xavier Dangerfield. It'll be second down after a gain of 5. One thing about it, keep running the football this way. Time comes off that clock pretty quickly. Got some jumping after Coors. The hard hand slap got him jumping, and a lot of times players will hear the noise and they think it's time to go.
At the hard count, got Brownsburg that time. 5 free yards there for Cathedral.
Good job there by the quarterback, Cameron Coors. Last week, 76 yards and a touchdown. He threw 17 times, completed 9. They really didn't have to throw the football because of the running attack with Jalen Bonds. But again, Bonds not in the lineup for this series. Handoff Dangerfield up the middle, and the hat comes off. One of the players ended up losing his helmet, but it's a first down to the 41-yard line.
Great job. Dangerfield got on in relief last week for Bonds in that win over Ben Davis. Rushed for 69 yards. Making a nice presence in this one so far.
So first down. Football again at the 41-yard line. Slaughter to the right. Harvey to the right. The tight end McDaniel also lined up to the right side. Pappas in the backfield now. Play action. They'll throw toward the sideline and just out of the reach of Devon Slaughter. In fact, the ball was just a little bit behind him, and that made the difference.
Yeah, unfortunate their incomplete pass there because that was a lot of green in front.
So it will be second down and 10. I'll tell you what, if you're Albron Johnson at 6'6", 190 pounds, that's an awful tough guard on this side because that defensive back isn't even close to 6'6". Hand off and nothing there. Pappas goes down, and he goes down very quickly. 32 coming in there for Brownsburg. It's Alex Burke, the outside linebacker.
Brownsburg brought it right there, held Cathedral to a minimal gain. Now Cathedral backed up to a 3rd and long situation.
You have to like wearing number 32 as a linebacker. Reminds you of Mike Curtis, who used to play for the Baltimore Colts many years ago. I'm showing my age already. So change here for Cathedral as McDaniel has to come out of the lineup. 3rd and 9 now for the Fighting Irish. Trips to the right. Coors will put a man in motion. Has time, flushed out of the pocket, throws downfield, and the ball's going to be caught, and it's going to be good enough for another first down inside the 30-yard line. On the reception, Jackson Harvey.
Jackson Harvey right there. Great job by Coors to find him there and give a new set of downs for Cathedral, and they're on the drive here.
Well, that's a big 3rd down. Fighting Irish on the drive once again. First possession of the football here in the second half, and they're on the move. Hand off, and once again, Dangerfield ahead to the 24-yard line.
I like what I've seen out of Dangerfield here coming on this drive here for Cathedral.
At some point, I got to look on the sidelines and see if we can spot Jalen Bonds, but at this stage, the running game doing fine without him. And it'll be Dangerfield again, and he gets clogged up pretty quickly. Might get a yard or 2 on that play, but not a whole lot there.
Yeah, that time Brownsburg brought everybody right there, sensing that run, backing Cathedral up to a 3rd and manageable here, 3rd and 5.
Eli Richardson and Jameer Pendleton, 2 of the excellent linebackers there for Brownsburg to make the stop. So it'll be 3rd down. Dangerfield stays in as the lone setback. And he's going to get the call, and he ran right into his tight end. There was some miscommunication on that one as McDaniel was coming to his left. Handoff went to Dangerfield, and they ran into each other.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, like you just said, there looked like a lot of miscommunication right there, unfortunately, for Cathedral. Now with 4th down, it looks like they're going to keep their offense out in a 17-point hole here.
So it's going to be 4th down and 6. They'll have to get to the 18. Big play right here. Could be I know it's still about halfway through the third, but it's certainly could be a game changer. Dangerfield, the lone setback. And there's movement again. Brownsburg shooting themselves in the foot.
Second time on this drive, Brownsburg's fallen for the hard count. And now Cathedral's going to have about a 4th and 1 now.
Yeah, that's a little different ball game. You're talking about 4th and 1 instead of 4th down and 6.
Coach Hart's going to definitely address this in practice this week. You know, that is the 8th penalty of this game for Brownsburg.
Well, they're actually going to say good enough for a first down. Is that true?
They just gave him the first down, yeah.
So it couldn't have been 4th down and 6. They only got 5 on the penalty, so it must have been 4th down and 5. Nonetheless, first down here for the Fighting Irish. Kors to throw. He's looking left. Now over the middle, overthrows the big receiver, Alberin Johnson. Now Johnson's 6'6". He probably jumps pretty well, but not that well.
Good defense as well there for Brownsburg right there on the coverage, forcing the incomplete pass.
Let's call it now 2nd down and 10. That football just, I'd say, closer to the 18-yard line. So Kors again with Dangerfield in the backfield. Jumping again up front. Now Brownsburg is showing blitz right there, and what is happening is those inside linebackers are stepping up, and they're either forcing, for whatever reason, those defensive linemen to move on their signal instead of waiting for the ball to be snapped.
That's one of those as well. Yeah, you got to be disciplined. Watch for the snap of the ball, not like you said there, and that's the 3rd offsides penalty on this drive for Brownsburg.
And you said now 9 penalties on Brownsburg in this football game. And right now the Bulldogs have to feel they've given up quite a bit of yardage here on this drive on the penalties. Handoff, it'll be Dangerfield down to the 5-yard line. Great run. Not a really big back at 5'10", 175. He's only a sophomore, but able to run right in between those tackles.
Dangerfield getting it done on the ground on this drive, and Cathedral's 5 yards away from a very important score. Get back in this game.
Dangerfield again breaks a tackle, still on his feet. Did he get close? Let's wait and see. It looks like he may have gotten to the 1-yard line. I thought he was going to get in. I believe at the last moment Jameer Pendleton got the stop quickly to the line of scrimmage.
You have to wonder if the quarterback's just going to keep this one himself as close as they are.
From the 1, a big pileup near the goal line. Did it get in? We're waiting for the official to make the call, and they did. Quarterback, keeper Cameron Kors, a yard out. 6 on the board, 24-13.
What an answer for Cathedral, and getting it done on the ground on this drive as Kors finishes it off here for Cathedral touchdown.
I'm impressed with the way Cathedral, they bring in Pappas, they bring in Dangerfield. They both did their job in helping this offense get into the end zone. So now we will have the extra point attempt. Van Krisseloff. At 6:07 remaining here in the third, and we've got a new ball game right here as the Fighting Irish able to get on the board again. 24-14 Bulldogs.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
High school football on IndianaSRN brought to you in part by the IndianaSRN sports page. Wall-to-wall sports news every day, whether it be high school, college, or pro sports. We have it all. Check it out on IndianaSRN.org. Click on the sports page tab. What a drive and a much-needed 7 points on the board.
A much needed 7 points for Cathedral. Now it's very important if they can get a defensive stop here and get this ball back.
Chance Whitfield is deep along with Drew Bostic, and that's going to be a short kick. So one of the up men will receive it and gets drilled out of bounds on the far side. It's going to be pretty good field position here for the Bulldogs. We have seen 2 onside kicks. We saw a short kick right there. Does Cathedral see something in special teams they think they can exploit? Or
they must be seeing Brownsburg. They see something in a weakness on the Brownsburg special team return team. It was good, even though it was a short kick. That was good kick coverage there to limit the return right there.
So it'll be first down, Brownsburg football. Football placed at the 33-yard line. Stevens back in. He's going to keep it himself. Gets upended after a gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
Stevens greeted very rudely there at the end on that tackle by Cathedral. Great open field tackle there.
And we talk about Yeshua Stevens just being that kind of dual threat quarterback, and that was a run play from the very beginning. Stevens stays in. Nope, it's going to be the other quarterback, Oscar Fry, coming in, and the swing pass, and then it's dropped after the catch. Going to be close to the first down. On the receiving side of things was Brandon Sharp, the sophomore. Well, that would have been big right there.
That was almost disaster. Luckily for Brownsburg, a player was right there to recover the fumble, and they get a first down out of this, I believe. They're 3rd and 1, actually.
You know, I got to pay attention here because now it's every other play. Stevens back in, then Fry came in, now Stevens again. And we've got an official's timeout right here. They may be looking at a measurement to see if this is a first down.
It's very, very close.
If this game is even somewhat delayed by measurements, we'll blame it on Daniel Morales. He is the umpire. Can we do that? I mean,
that sounds good to me.
Yeah, he'll maybe go back and listen to it or watch it later, and he knows we'll blame him for it. So let's see if this is going to be a first down. They'll stretch the chain, and it is. Not by much, but it is.
New set of downs for Brownsburg.
So do you like it? Now, again, I'm going to have to pay attention here because, again, you look at Stevens, Fry. Now it seems like every other play they're in and out, and Fry's back in again. Do you like this?
I think they're trying to get Cathedral a little uneasy on the defensive side, I think, is basically the strategy behind this for Coach Hart.
Because if you have a certain set of personnel out there for a running quarterback like Stevens and you bring Fry in, you don't have the same options, do you? So now Fry back in. Fry, swing pass, a little screen to the outside. It'll be down across the 50, maybe 49-yard line. In on the reception is Brandon Sharp, the sophomore.
There's all right there, and a nice 7-yard pickup here in Brownsburg, marching down the field again, putting together a good drive again.
Remember, this was a Cathedral defense, how well they played last week against the number 1 team at that time, Ben Davis. But so far, Brownsburg able to really chop up some big yards. Fry again, ball caught, 45 to the outside 40, and a first down and more brought down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. On the reception will be Robinson again, and he's been a huge player today.
Boy, right when it seems like Cathedral's taking the momentum back, Brownsburg marches right down the field and puts another long drive together.
And by the way, Fry will stay in. I'm going to keep my eye on the quarterback. You do the rest, okay? I got to make sure that we know which one's in there because it can change in a moment's notice. Fry out of the shotgun again, has time, airs it out to the corner, has a man, touchdown! Robinson, one-on-one coverage on the near side, and a great pass by Oscar Fry. That is excellent touch for the sophomore.
Fry right on the money to Robinson again, and that's Robinson's second receiving touchdown of this game, and Brownsburg bounces right back and puts 6 right on the board after that Cathedral score.
Boy, great move when you consider Robinson one-on-one coverage there against Owen Reyes, and that ball had to be right on the mark because Reyes actually had pretty good coverage. So now the extra point attempt. It's up, and it is no good. Wide to the left, our first miss by Will Orlando, but the Bulldogs lead it 30-14.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back once again here at Marian University. Today's game brought to you in part by Indiana Labor's District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Labor's District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are La Una. Will be a return here for the Fighting Irish inside the 5-yard line. This is more to the outside, brought down just shy of that 20-yard line, 1st and 10, and good special teams play there for Brownsburg.
Good kick coverage that time for Brownsburg. And now Cathedral is very important. We were talking off air during that break. That was an important missed extra point because this is still a 2-score game right now with that missed extra point.
By the way, we do have a flag down at the 32. We will await the penalty call on this one. By the way, a full day of college football today as well. There are a lot of the high school games. We've got a personal foul against Brownsburg, so that'll add 15 to the end of the play. We have not only a full day of college football, but there are a lot of high school games that did not get completed last night that are going on today, and some of them even started as early as 10 o'clock this morning.
All the way from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 6 o'clock at night. And I was actually listening to, I was going to say on the Sports Talk last night, they're talking about these late start times. You have to wonder if there was officiating issues, like some officials, like to officiate middle school and all that. So you have to wonder if that's the late start for those.
Yeah, scheduling officials, and we're already short of officials anyway, and trying to maneuver these guys around is not an easy thing to do. Stack right, hand off, and putting his head down, getting about 4 on the carry. That'll be Jimmy Pappas. No need to panic yet. We've got a lot of football to be played, but you have to be a little concerned that the Irish defense is having a difficult time stopping Brownsburg.
Yeah, Brownsburg just seemed to get whatever they want on the offensive side. They just went over 300 yards of offense on that last drive against this Cathedral defense.
2nd down and 6. Pappas, this time he's going to lose a yard unless he can get it back on that second effort, and he did to the 40. Otherwise, that would have been a loss of 1.
I'll tell you what, Pappas lucky to get what he got right there. Like I said, that Brownsburg defense was right there. And now Cathedral, a very, very important 3rd down in this game, 3rd and 5.
Last time, I think they were 3rd and 9 and got the 1st down. And that led to a score. See what the Fighting Irish have here. Very tight formation, hash mark left. Coors out of the shotgun, and he'll fake the handoff. Little pass here to the near side. It's well short as Slaughter gets buried. That defense really read it well. Jameer Pendleton, the outside linebacker, one of the first ones there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that fooled absolutely nobody on the Brownsburg defense, and now at 4th and 7, you're looking at a 16-point hole, but in their position on the field right now, I think you just have to punt this football away right here.
Krisloff inside his own 25-yard line. Bulldogs are going to have pretty good field position unless we see, like what Krisloff did last night, got a really good punt, his 2nd punt of the ball game. 2:20 to go. That clock, if you're Brownsburg, it seems to take forever. But now for the Fighting Irish, you're looking at it going, man, that thing's going quick. And now we've got a whistle down on the field.
Play clock expired.
So that'll be a delay of game. Deep now for the Bulldogs will be Drew Bostic. Overcast day today, and we didn't see really even a drop of rain last night. It was all the lightning that caused most of the issues for us and many of the other schools around the Indianapolis area. Bostic, fair catch, and he dropped it. Did he get it back? Ball still loose, and eventually I think it was Quentin Russ who jumped on it for the Bulldogs.
Brownsburg seemed to get every loose ball right there, picking up that. They had the fumble earlier this quarter that they were able to recover.
Now, words being said between Alston McDaniel of Cathedral and Alex Burke of Brownsburg on special teams. I'm sure there's maybe at this stage a little bit of frustration for the Fighting Irish. That would have been big to get that loose ball.
Cathedral, yeah, you sense this frustration starting to gel with them on this game. Down 16 here and having to give up the football again.
Well, Oscar Fry making certainly a name for himself today against one of the top defenses in the state of Indiana here to begin this season. The football just a couple of yards on the carry this time by Lewis. You're up by 16. You can run a little clock too, can't you?
You get the sense, yeah, Brownsburg's going to be very, very content to just stick with the running game right here.
Robinson again has one-on-one coverage here on the near side, but they've changed defenders. Zion Hill will be in there. Hill at about 6'4", very big corner. Fry to throw, and that one off the mark. I think it was more of a miscommunication between he and Brandon Sharp. Sharp went to the inside, pass went to the outside.
The receiver read one thing, the quarterback read the other thing, and it led to some confusion there and an incomplete pass. Now, can Cathedral get the third down stop this time?
You know, we should ask if we get a chance to talk to Oscar Fry if he's wearing 18 because of Peyton Manning. What do you think, huh? He throws like Peyton Manning. 3rd down and 7. Man in motion, and the ball knocked down. Incomplete pass. Aiden Flournoy, if he grabs that one, he's got a pick 6.
That was 6 points to the house if he's able to come down with that, but a great, great, much-needed defensive stand for Cathedral here on 4th down, and they're going to force a punt.
By the way, I was watching Brady Lewis. He ends up maybe tweaking an ankle. He went to the sidelines a little banged up, so now Brownsburg will punt it away. And that ball will take a Brownsburg bounce. How about that? All the way down to the 10-yard line. What a great kick. And we got a flag down, some extracurricular activity behind the play. Looked like number 17, Brian Panzer, on special teams. Either he or Charles McCormick, one of the two, may have had a penalty thrown right there, as again we talked about maybe the tempers flaring a little bit today.
Getting a little chippy down there, and the officials are going to nip this in the bud as quick as they can before things escalate any further.
Now we see either one of those two because there are two number 17s in the Fighting Irish roster. Both are seniors, and again both wear number 17, so it's one of those two that may have been guilty. And we just talked about a little bit ago with McDaniel and the linebacker Alex Burke for Brownsburg getting into it a little bit. A lot of words exchanged there.
I actually just saw a second flag go down, so you have to wonder if this is going to be the offsetting personal fouls here.
Our referee is Brian Davis. Personal foul that way, personal foul that way. I got to tell you, and I've always said this in football, I do not like offsetting penalties because you get nothing out of it other than warnings, right?
I agree with you. Yeah, it solves nothing and ball back where we were going to be before.
By the way, Daniel Morales talking with Alex Burke. Burke thought he felt he got cheap shotted on that special teams. And the one thing about that is generally the guy doing the cheap shotting doesn't get caught as much as the second guy retaliating.
The retaliator, yeah, every time seems to be the one that gets the call.
Well, a long way to go here with 1:12 for the Fighting Irish back to their 10-yard line, so the punt will stand. All yardage gained on that punt. Coors back on offense, handoff Dangerfield over the right side. He may get a yard. A lot of hard hitting going on. Those guys up front really going at each other. That is maybe where this game is really being won.
Absolutely right there, and it's very interesting. I'm kind of surprised to see Cathedral sticking with that running game. The passing game was working there in the first half. I thought we might see them go a little bit more to the passing game here.
Jackson Sargent in the middle of that at 6'1", 275. Colin Kelly also in the middle of that defensive line for Brownsburg. The handoff, no play action. Kors into the end zone. Here comes the pressure. Throws to the sideline, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Albrin Johnson. And now a flag goes down again, and this may go against the Bulldogs. Going to have to now, at this stage, really control your temper.
It looks like 15 against Brownsburg, but that is a catch right there you have to make. That was a great catch, and just unable to make it. That's a catch you got to make right there.
Penalty will go against Brownsburg. They're going to call interference on that, not what we thought could have been an unsportsmanlike penalty. So they think, at least at this stage, from our perspective, he grabbed him before the play actually transpired that way. 32 seconds remaining here in the first half, or I should say in the third quarter. It feels like the first half.
That is the 10th penalty now for Brownsburg in this game.
Well, the good news is you're still up by 16, right? Football just across the 20, so it'll be at the 20-yard line. Could be the final play of this third quarter. Three-man front there for the Bulldogs, expecting a pass right here. Nope, they're going to run it. It'll be Dangerfield over the left side, 25-30, out to about the 31-yard line. Good enough for the first down.
Great run there for Dangerfield, getting a couple extra yards, breaking that tackle. Another flag goes down.
Quentin Russ, the defensive back for Brownsburg, I think said something right there, and he's going to have to be really careful. He, along with Jackson Harvey, were, as you say, getting chippy, but I think they're going to end up getting Quentin Russ. Now, they're going to go both ways. The only thing that transpires out of that, and by the way, Russ is coming out, is that you're now on record of being warned basically to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, if it happens again, it would be a suspension. That's right.
Yeah, you don't want to get tossed. No matter how this game may be going, you want to make sure you're going to play next week. 14 seconds to go. First down and 10, football at the 32. Kors will play action. Sideline, and the ball's going to be dropped. Looked like it was going to be a clean catch by Adam Ayers, but he can't hold on. It would have been a first down. 3 seconds to go in the third.
Again, that's a catch you have to make if you're Ayers. The pass was right on the money. Ayers just unable to come down with it.
After the game today, we'll name the player or players of the game. We generally leave that up to our color analyst. That way he takes all the flack in case somebody didn't like the voting. Well, this Brownsburg linebacking core, they play a 3-4, but they will come and blitz at just about any time. Kors throws out on the flat. Ball's going to be caught, and the quarter will end. Not a whole lot of running room after the catch here by Ayers, and the Cathedral crowd thought there was too much going on after the stoppage of the play, and they wanted another penalty. But that's going to do it for the third quarter. Bulldogs on top of this one, 30-14. I like it.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Bertner Electric Incorporated is fully licensed and bonded electrical contractor for your protection. Our electricians are available 24/7 for service calls and specialize in electrical service and storm damage repair. For more information, give us a call today.
Get a gator that will get you where you need to go. Something you can get in and go with plenty of space. Be ready to tackle any terrain, large or small. When you choose Reynolds, you choose reliability. The guaranteed great customer experience and relationship from the moment you walk in. Come in and see for yourself or visit reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Back here at Marian University, started the fourth quarter. Today's game brought to you in part by Family Source Insurance. Pat Cherry is your independent agent representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Give him a call at 317-894-7000. Maybe tempers have calmed a little bit. Let's hope.
That is one thing I guarantee you, Coach Hart will be, no matter what happens here, if Brownsburg hangs on to this game, the first thing he's going to be dwelling on in practice are these unsportsmanlike penalties.
So 3rd and 10, actually more like 3rd and 8. Scoreboard says 3rd and 10. Coors to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to be in trouble, and he goes down. That pocket collapsed. He had nowhere to go. Pressure coming from just about every side, and it'll be a sack. Looked like Mason Kiefer was the first one in there.
Brownsburg brought the house right there, able to get to Coors. Nothing the line could do there, and Cathedral's going to have to punt this football away here beginning of the fourth quarter.
Boy, this is going to be fun to watch. What does Brownsburg do? Do they try to go for the kill right here and really put the pressure on Cathedral?
I expect them to be very, very content to just stick with the run game. It has done wonders for you this game. I expect them to just keep it on the ground, get that ground attack going.
By the way, deep will be Brandon Sharp. Bostic had been the return man. Great kick. And all the way back to about the 26-yard line, trying to find running room to the outside, grabbed at the last moment out of bounds. It'll be Bulldogs football, 1st and 10. Today's game also brought to you in part by Aspen Creek Grill. You talk about delicious food and great service. They've got it at Aspen Creek Grill. And by the way, John's going to take us all out to dinner when we're done today at Aspen Creek Grill. Believe me, you will not be disappointed. We appreciate you doing that, though, John.
Absolutely. It's my treat.
It's kind of an expense that you can write off for FedEx, right?
Well, I'll talk to him about that when I get back.
Write it off. They don't care. 1st down and 10 Bulldogs, and Stevens will be back in at quarterback. Nice hole up the middle. He ran over one defender when he crossed the 40 to the 41.
I sure like this Stevens getting it done at both sides, rushing and passing. Great dual threat quarterback there for Brownsburg. I like what I've seen out of him in this game.
Well, I tell you what, if they can continue to run the football and take some time off that clock, you might see Stevens in for the rest of the ball game. But Oscar Fry has played as well as any sophomore you're going to see against a very good football team in the Fighting Irish of Cathedral. So it'll be 2nd down and 1. Stevens, keeper over the right side, 1st down and more, and he's very close to midfield, if not beyond, to the 49.
Great job again by Stevens. Running room and saw it, and that's now 58 yards rushing for Stevens at quarterback.
I cannot say enough about that offensive line. They've just really produced to last night and today. They probably feel, you know what, we'll come back every Saturday if you want us to, because they're just doing a great job. And by the way, if you kind of look at it now, they're going to take their time. You've got 19 more seconds. You can run this thing under 10 minutes just on play clock.
They've been taking the play clock down under 5 seconds for the first 3 plays of this drive.
Stevens, keeper, and he's going to get dropped for a loss on this one. Quickly in there to make the stop was Kyle Harden. Harden, the linebacker, a junior at 5'9", 185, shot the gap, and so now it'll be 2nd down and 12.
And with 9.5 minutes left in this game, you have to wonder how long, if Brownsburg's able to stay out on offense, how long before Cathedral's going to start having to burn these timeouts to serve as much time as they can.
2 receivers now to the near side. 2nd down. They'll check at the line of scrimmage, look to the sidelines. What changes will be coming here? They're going to run the football, and back in is Lewis, and Lewis gets a big chunk of it back, still on his feet, down to the 44. Nice run there by Lewis. We'd mentioned he was a little shaken up the last offensive possession when he ended up going out of the ball game. He looks to be okay.
Yeah, good to see him back in there, and I expected that to be another quarterback keeper for Stevens, but nice handoff to Lewis there. Nice 6-yard gain.
Another big 3rd down right here, this time for Brownsburg. And if you think about this Cathedral defense, they really need to stop right here. 2 wideouts near side. Here is Lewis on the carry. Left side, 1st down and more inside the 35, 30, down to about the 28-yard line. great first down run by Brady Lewis.
Lewis had a lot of green on his left and able to see that there, and Brownsburg a chance to bleed even more time off this clock here in the fourth quarter.
5'8", 175 pounds, and he ran more like he was 200. Kind of reminded me of you when you played high school football.
I taught him everything he knew.
I'm sure you did. You both collaborated throughout the week. Brady, here's how you do it. So another first down. Stevens, the carry right side. They're going to milk a lot of the clock on this one. A gain of about 3 on the carry. And the Fighting Irish have a player down. We haven't seen anybody cramping up, but I think this is more of an ankle for Aiden Flournoy. Flournoy nearly came up with an interception early. We're going to take a timeout for the injury to the Fighting Irish player. Bulldogs on top by 16.
To you.
Back here at Marian University after the quick injury. 2nd down and 7 now for the Bulldogs. Stevens will throw in the air toward the end zone and in and out of the hands, but we got flags down. It was intended for Robbins, who had one-on-one coverage there on the far side against Ashton Johnson. And the flag came from the near side, so that'll be a interference penalty against the Fighting Irish.
A little too much contact there in the interference penalty, but you also get the feeling if he didn't commit that interference penalty, that's a touchdown possibly right there.
So they will mark off the penalty here, and Brownsburg may be able to seal this thing here today if they get 6 or 7 on the board, and they're knocking on the door again. We're in the red zone.
Pass interference on the Irish, first down, Bulldogs.
Football is at the 12-yard line. And Brownsburg, again, in no hurry because the play clock is at 40. They can run this down to 7. This is where you really learn some patience. Just take your time. Stevens staying in on this drive. Hand off Lewis, and Lewis going to go down, shooting the gap. Great play by Jack Lockhart, the senior. He shot the gap, and we're talking about a loss of about 3.
Cathedral able to get through the line that time, get to Lewis, force him into a 3-yard loss there. Great first defensive play here on this first set of downs for Cathedral.
Aiden Flournoy being checked, by the way, by the trainer in the sideline. They don't want to lose him. I'd love to get him back in there on defense for the Fighting Irish. 2nd down and 13. Football placed at about the 15-yard line. Here is the handoff, left side, not much there. Sumter Bay, who we haven't seen in a while, on the carry, gets a couple of yards back, and it's going to be 3rd down.
I believe that is the first time we have seen him since the resumption of this game from last night, Sumter Bay, as he goes back to the sideline here.
Yeah, he was scheduled to start today, and, of course, last week had 86 yards and a touchdown, but it has been Brady Lewis who has done all the work. So put the football at the 11-yard line, and the Bulldogs have now run this clock down to 6.5 minutes. Running back in the backfield, a little bit of a change here as they have moved Sumter Bay right behind the quarterback Stevens, but we've got a timeout on the field. 6:22 remaining. Bulldogs lead at 30-14.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
is very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners, because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Today's game brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. For over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. For more information, call 317-686-6239. 3rd down and 8. They'll throw it out on the flat. Ball's going to be caught, cutting up field and driven out of bounds on the far side. On the reception, new player in will be Saik Dail, 6 foot 210.
He did have a touchdown last week for Brownsburg in their win over Dwenger Diallo.
So now it's going to be 4th down and 1. And they're taking their time again. They can run this thing down to the 6-minute mark. Well, clock is stopped going out of bounds. And the handoff and driven back, but I think he may have gotten the first down on the carry, was Sumter Bay.
They may have to measure this. This is a little closer than we thought it was.
Fighting Irish think they got the stop. And they did. But now they got a long way to go.
But what a great goal line stand there, though, for Cathedral, keeping this game within reach here with 6:11. But, yes, they do have a long way to go, 96 yards.
You have a long way to go, but you're down by 16. You not only have to get down quickly, but you're going to have to get it back.
Well, we've already seen 2 onside kicks in this game from Cathedral.
I see a drone up there. Is that yours? Somebody filming from afar. So the Fighting Irish, 1st down and 10. A long way to go again on this drive. They got to get in the end zone pretty quick. Pappas in the backfield. Pappas gets the call. He'll get a couple before he's brought down very quickly. In there for Brownsburg, looked like that was Eli Richardson, the junior linebacker.
Well, Cathedral's comfortable in their running game, but at this point here, with under 6 minutes, I think you're going to have to start throwing it in the air here.
Pappas will stay in. Every time that you see the quarterback Coors clap his hands, the Brownsburg defensive lineman getting a little jumpy, though they do stay on sides on this one. Tight end will reset 2 steps. Coors, pump fake, throws to the sideline, has a man wide open. Foot race at the 50 and driven out of bounds on the far sideline, but a great play for the Fighting Irish, and they needed that one to Jackson Harvey.
I don't know if that was a miscommunication on the Brownsburg defensive line or what, but he was wide open there on the sideline here for Cathedral in a play they had to have marching into Brownsburg territory as we look again here.
Well, that pump fake certainly helped keep the defensive back up on coverage, and then again, as you mentioned, Harvey getting behind. 1st down, they needed that down to the 41-yard line. At this stage, if you're Brownsburg, you just got to keep everything in front of you. Don't want to give up a quick score. Course to throw again. Down the middle and overthrows his intended receiver. That was Devon Slaughter. If that ball's on the mark, Slaughter makes a nice catch. He might get some extra yards.
If he was able to get by that defender, he could have gone around the left side there, and he had a lot of green in front of him. Unfortunately, a little too high there on that pass.
That'll stop the clock at 5:16. Fighting Irish trying to get back in this one as quick as they can as we're coming up to the end of this one. Play action. Down the hash mark and overthrowing the receiver once again. This time it'll be Albrin Johnson. Johnson, a big target, as we mentioned, at 6'6", but that looked like there he had some double coverage to deal with.
Yeah, Johnson was wanting the flag there. He was thinking he was interfered with, but it looked like great coverage on the Brownsburg. I didn't see anything there that warranted a flag.
How'd you like to have Albert Johnson at 6'6" running some routes for you, huh? That's tough to cover at a wideout. Usually you see your tight ends at 6'6", not your wide receivers. 3rd down and 10. Flag is down. We've got procedure against Cathedral.
The left side of the line, it looked like jump there for Cathedral. And now it's a 3rd and 15 situation.
Look at Daniel Morales throw that flag. He gets to mark it off as well. That'll move it back to the 46-yard line.
It's not a stat either coach wants to hear, but that is a combined now 20 penalties in this game.
So again, 3rd down and 15. Coors again, sets up, throws over the middle, nearly drop it, then caught. That one came off the padding there, Devon Slaughter, but great hands off the deflection right there to make the catch. They'll get a good amount of those yards back.
Definitely 4-down territory at this point here for Cathedral.
So it is 4th down and 8. Football placed at the 39-yard line. Stack trips to the near side. Hash mark left. This could be it right here for the Fighting Irish. Course to throw. Looking left the whole way. And do we have a penalty? Yes. Quentin Russ will be guilty of the pass interference. The pass play was intended for Jackson Harvey.
Definitely way early on the receiver there and getting the 15 yards and basically handing Cathedral another set of downs here on 1st down.
Today's game brought to you in part by Clean Slate. Find your future in the cloud. They're a technology consulting firm specializing in custom-built modern applications and products that deliver greater agility, faster speed to innovation, and the resiliency to handle whatever the future throws your way. Give them a call for more information at 866-885-3249. 1st down here for the Fighting Irish. Clock continuing at 4:27 here in the final period of play. Again, stack formation here to the near side, just outside the hash marks. Readjusting will be Dangerfield in the backfield. Course to throw, looking this way, and the ball's going to be knocked down. Great play that time by Jameer Pendleton, the linebacker on coverage, able to knock it away from Devon Slaughter.
Great job there, Pendleton on the coverage for Slaughter there, forcing the incomplete pass.
Go ahead.
Brownsburg defense pretty much knows it's going to be a passing situation from here on out.
So 2nd down and 10. I want to remind you today's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Any use of audio or video without the expressed written permission of IndianaSRN and the IHSAA is strictly prohibited. Brownsburg making a change on their defensive line. Now we're ready to go once again. Clock at 4:22 here in the final period. Course to throw. Has plenty of time. Near side roll. Throws toward the end zone. Ball caught. Did it get in? Touchdown, Fighting Irish.
You can credit the offensive line for that touchdown pass from Coors, giving him as much time as he needed to complete that touchdown pass.
Holding penalty.
Oh. Unfortunate right there for Cathedral.
Wow. I'm not sure if they got number 78, which is Bo Anakin, was one of the two players they were looking at. The other one is Eli Gingrich, number 50. It happened on the left side of the offensive line, so take away the touchdown to Ayers. I'll tell you what, that would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't see the flag go down there until after I was in. Yeah, that's the 3rd touchdown now we've had called back in this game.
Yep, we sure have. So now it'll be 2nd down and 18 instead of 6 on the board. Coors to throw. Here they come from the outside, able to get away. Coors has some running room here and will go out of bounds on the far side. I know the Cathedral crowd wants maybe a penalty here, but I think that was a clean play. The tackle inbound slid out of bounds. See where they'll put him down at the 26-yard line. The good news is for the Fighting Irish, that does stop the clock at 4:04.
Picking up 16 to the 18 yards himself right there, Coors. And a very manageable 3rd down now for Cathedral.
Again, we'll put the football at the 26. Again, 3rd down and 12. Trips to the near side. The lone setback will be Pappas. He's in motion. Coors to throw. Near sideline and just can't connect with Devon Slaughter. That falls incomplete. Coverage there by Drew Bostic, and we've got another flag down back behind the quarterback as Cameron Coors may be thinking about backing it up again. Wow, 2 big penalties right here against the Fighting Irish and another holding penalty.
Absolute inopportune times for these penalties for Cathedral.
Well, a lot of times when you know you're going to have to protect, you sometimes stretch those arms out, and you just can't do that. Wow. So now it backs him all the way up to the 36-yard line. Brownsburg showing blitz right here, but they'll drop into coverage. Coors to throw. He's flushed out of the pocket, far sideline, and he will go out of bounds. Looks like he stepped out at the 34, so that's only a gain of 2, but it does stop the clock at 3:49.
Just nothing Coors could do right there, just get what he could, and now you're going to be needing about 19 yards here on this 4th down play for Cathedral. Brownsburg defense thinking one more stop may put a seal in this game for them.
They'll have to get to the 14 for the 1st down. As I said a little bit ago, now if you're Brownsburg, you just keep everything in front of you. Know where that 14-yard marker is, that they'd have to get the 1st down, but whatever you do, don't let him get to the end zone.
I might even go a little bit of prevent defense here, have everybody back to make sure that they don't get that big completion.
Yeah, because it'd take quite a bit to get a play to the 14, for sure. They'll stack it up near side once again. Pappas the lone setback. Coors to throw. This one high in the air. It's up for grabs, and it's going to be knocked down. No interference play on that one, and I think that's a correct call because there was, at that stage, just a ball up for grabs, and if you're a Brownsburg fan, you kind of feel you got this one in the books now.
Ayers almost came down with that catch off the deflection there for Cathedral, but it does fall incomplete, and a turnover on downs here gives it back to Brownsburg.
Boy, those 2 big holding penalties, you're going to look back on that. Again, they may still not have been able to score, but you would have certainly given yourself a better chance to maybe get it to 30-22 if you get the 2-point conversion and then you onside kick. Who knows, right?
And now if you're Brownsburg, I don't think at this point of the game there's no reason to abandon the run now at this point. Make Cathedral use their timeouts.
Back in the ball game will be Oscar Fry, and a low snap. He's going to hand it off over the right side and back to the line of scrimmage for Lewis. And if you're Cathedral now, you got to gamble on everything, try to strip that football, and on the other side, of course, you're going to run that clock down every time you get a chance.
Try anything you can if to jar that ball loose, somehow get a turnover for Cathedral, because you're going to need the ball twice here yet.
So we're coming up on 3 minutes.
Kind of surprised Cathedral's not using their timeout here.
Well, they know if they get it back, they're going to need them, but you're right, they got to stop the clock. Low snap, Fry able to pick that one up. Lewis on the carry, and Lewis to the 37.
Lewis on the rush.
Well, Brownsburg holds on. They got to be number 1 in everybody's poll this coming week, right?
I would think so.
The Cathedral's not going to fall a whole lot, but We'll have the Indiana SRN poll coming out either Monday or Tuesday. We'll be naming our player of the game, so you want to think about that here.
And I'm looking at Cathedral's next 2 games here against a tough St. Xavier team from Cincinnati and Chittard, their next 2 coming up.
And we have that Chittard game on Indiana SRN. Fry to the sideline. Ball will be caught. Staying in bounds is Robinson, who's been huge today. Great placement of that football by Oscar Fry.
Going with a pass there and keeping the defense honest, and it creates a first down for Brownsburg. They can almost run out the rest of this clock here.
Football is at the 49-yard line. Yeah, St. Xavier will be tough. They're always good. Is that game at St. Xavier?
It is in Cincinnati,
okay.
yes.
That's going to be tough. But again, that game between Cathedral and Bishop Chittard, who Chittard won last year, will be at Bishop Chittard. So Cathedral on the road for the next 2 weeks. Handoff Lewis. Lewis into Browns, or I should say into Cathedral territory at the 48-yard line.
Brownsburg travels to Franklin Central next week before hosting Avon in 2 weeks.
And really both those very winnable games for sure. Clock down to minute 26. Most of the fans who had shown up last night did not come back today, though not a terrible crowd here for Cathedral, but Brownsburg, you can tell a lot of their fans didn't come back today. They're either home watching college football or going to the games. Fry, handoff again to Lewis, and Lewis will be stopped at about the 45-yard line. Maybe one more play, and the Bulldogs are going to win this one here today.
Yeah, what a great offensive effort for Brownsburg in this game here against Cathedral, doing something that Ben Davis could not do against the Cathedral defense last week.
No kidding. So, again, one more play, and this one will be in the books, and this got started for Brownsburg after the delay. They came out and scored immediately. That was a great drive by Oscar Fry and that Brownsburg offense, and just after that, took a few punches and survived. So there you have it. They kneel on the football, and Brownsburg on the road here at Marian University, knocking off the Fighting Irish by a final of 30-14. Before we get to the player of the game announcement, let's talk a little bit about what you saw in this one here today and a little bit of your perspective on the Fighting Irish and the Bulldogs.
Brownsburg is definitely going to be a factor in 6A football. I love what this team brings offensively and defensively both. They are well balanced on both sides, and Brownsburg is definitely going to be a factor. And Cathedral, it was a bad game for them. This is a very good Cathedral team, so they're going to be right there in 6A at the end of the year as well. So again, these two teams could be facing off in the regionals down the road again.
All right, let's do our Indiana SRN player of the game, and we bring this to you by Aspen Creek Grill. Who do you like in this one?
This is a tough call, but in the end, I'm going to give it to Avon Robinson with his 2 touchdown receptions, 138 yards receiving. Robinson was just there, had 2 big touchdowns when Cathedral was trying to come back, so I'm going to give it to Robinson, the player of the game.
All right, so Mr. Robinson, you are the player of the game, brought to you by Aspen Creek Grill. By the way, we have some big games still coming up on Indiana SRN, so we invite you to check out our website, IndianaSRN.org, and see what games we have coming up week by week. We're generally about 2 weeks ahead of schedule, and a lot of times new games are put in, so make sure you go to IndianaSRN.org. There is one of them right there. We'll have Lafayette Harrison and Brebeuf. Those are 2 ranked teams in their respective classes. I will have that Greenfield and Mount Vernon game. And Greenfield, by the way, they're the real deal. I've had a chance to see them already. And then, of course, we head down to Evansville. You're talking about Central and Memorial hooking up on Friday night, and that's always a great matchup. And then Cecina will be at Covenant Christian. Great matchup there. We got 5 games coming up next week, all on Indiana SRN. So great game here today, and your final thoughts as we close out. As you had mentioned, both these teams I think will be there by the end of the season. And so, again, we want to thank you for being with us here today as well. Today's game has been brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, Passion to Care, Boilermaker Local 374, Wheeler Mission, Bertner Electric, the Morales Group, Northwestern Mutual, Indiana Labor's District Council, and the IndianaSRN Sports page. Thanks to the entire crew. Great job as always as we wrap it up here at Marian University. Your final score, Brownsburg beats Cathedral 30-14.